Debating is all about helping people, but there are some people who it's more important to help than others, and those are needy people or vulnerable people. In debating, if you can prove that the impact of an idea or the impact of a topic is going to be on vulnerable people, that will be a very, very important impact in the debate. So, first of all, why is it so important to help the vulnerable people in a debate? Often, when we're debating, we're pretending that we are the government making a decision about what we should do with all of the government's money. The thing is that in the real world, when the government makes a change, it has a bigger impact on people who are more vulnerable than it does on people who are less vulnerable or have lots of money and they're not very needy people. Because if those people wanted to, they could just move to a different country and live under a different government. So, we should be talking about the vulnerable people instead, because the size of the impact or the size of the effect of what the government does is larger on somebody who is beholden or stuck with that government. What are vulnerable people that you can talk about in debating? There's a couple of different types. Firstly, you could talk about people who are rural and remote that don't live in major city areas and they have less services. Secondly, you could talk about people who have maybe health problems or disabilities. That means that they are less able to do things like go to work. Thirdly, you could talk about minority groups in society who get unfair treatment from some other groups in society. This could be, for example, Indigenous people or people who have recently migrated to a country. You can also talk about groups such as women who sometimes face difficult problems in society, like being treated unfairly. So, if you can prove an impact for one of these vulnerable people in a debate, it is going to be a very important impact in the round. And that is a great way to show that you understand the world and that you also have thought about how your topic is going to affect all different types of people in society.